It's late again, the kind of late where everything feels quieter than it should. Tonight's stories aren't just scary. They're the kind that make you question what's real and what might be watching you when you think you're alone. These are 3 true scary stories, and trust me, you'll want the lights on for this one. Let's begin. Story 1. The Airbnb with no neighbors. A few months ago, I decided to take a short trip alone. I found a cheap Airbnb just outside a small town. The listing said it was peaceful, quiet, and perfect for disconnecting. That should have been my first warning. When I arrived, it was already getting dark. The house was exactly like the pictures, maybe a little older than I expected, but nothing too strange. What was strange was how isolated it was. No nearby houses, no streetlights, just trees and silence. The host had left a key under the mat, just like the instructions said. I went inside, locked the door, and tried to relax. For the first hour, everything felt normal. I unpacked, watched something on my phone, even laughed a little, but as the night got deeper, something started to feel off. It was too quiet. Not peaceful quiet, more like the kind of quiet where you notice every tiny sound. Around midnight, I heard something outside. At first, I thought it was just the wind, but then I heard it again. Footsteps, slow, deliberate, crunching through gravel. Right outside the house, I froze. I muted my phone and just listened. The footsteps stopped, and then a knock. 3 slow knocks on the front door. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. There was no way someone should be out here. No neighbors, no cars, nothing. Then the knocking came again. This time, louder. I slowly got up and walked toward the window, but I didn't look directly outside. I don't know why. I just felt like I shouldn't. Instead, I peeked through the reflection in the glass, and that's when I saw it. A man, standing at the door, not moving, not knocking anymore, just standing there. I couldn't see his face clearly. It was too dark. But something about the way he stood felt wrong, like he'd been there longer than I thought. Then suddenly, he turned his head, slowly, directly toward the window, like he knew I was watching. I dropped to the floor instantly. My heart was pounding so loud, I was sure he could hear it. Minutes passed, or maybe longer. I don't know. I stayed there, completely still. Eventually, I forced myself to crawl to my phone. No signal, not even one bar. That's when panic really set in. I was completely alone, or at least I thought I was. Because a few seconds later, I heard something inside the house. A soft creak, like a floorboard, behind me. I turned slowly. Every instinct in my body was screaming not to. But I did, and I saw the hallway, empty. But the door at the end of it was open. I was sure I'd closed it earlier. I stared at it for what felt like forever. Waiting, listening, nothing. Then, another sound. Closer this time, a slow, dragging noise, coming from inside that room. That's when I realized something that made my stomach drop. The man at the door might not be the only one here. I didn't sleep that night. I stayed in the corner, holding my phone, watching the hallway, waiting for something to move, waiting for morning. At some point, the sound stopped. The house went completely silent again, and eventually, sunlight started to come through the windows. I didn't check the room. I didn't check the door. I grabbed my things, unlocked the front door, and ran. When I got to my car, I looked back once, just once. The door to the house was slightly open, and for a split second, I thought I saw someone standing inside. Watching me leave, I reported it to the host. They never responded, and the listing was gone the next day. Story 2. Someone was using my camera. I work from home. Nothing unusual about that anymore. Most days, I barely leave my apartment. It's just me, my laptop, and silence. At least, that's what I thought. A few weeks ago, I started noticing something small. At first, I ignored it. My laptop camera light would turn on for a second, then turn off. No apps open. No video calls. Nothing. I figured it was just a glitch. Maybe an update running in the background. But then it kept happening. Random times, late at night, early morning. Sometimes while I was just sitting there, doing nothing, the light would flick on, then off. Like something was checking if it worked. I tried to ignore it. I really did. But there's something about that tiny green light. Once you notice it, you can't stop thinking about it. So I did what most people would do. I covered it with tape. Problem solved, right? That's what I thought. Until the messages started. It was around 1:30 a.m. I was in bed, scrolling through my phone, trying to sleep, when I got a notification, unknown number, just one message. Why did you cover it? I stared at my screen for a long time. I didn't reply. I didn't even open it fully at first. I just looked at the preview. My heart started beating faster. There was no way. No one could know that. I live alone. No one was in my apartment. No one had been over in days. I slowly opened the message. That's when I saw there was another one, sent a few seconds later. I liked watching you. I felt sick. I immediately got out of bed and turned on every light in the apartment. Checked the doors, locked, windows, closed. Everything looked normal, but it didn't feel normal anymore. It felt like I wasn't alone. I went straight to my laptop. The tape was still covering the camera. Nothing looked touched, but when I opened it, the screen was already on, not asleep, not locked, just on. And there was something open, a folder. I don't remember opening it. I don't even remember seeing it before. Inside were files, dozens of them, all with timestamps. All from different times of the day. My hands were shaking as I clicked one. It was a video of me, sitting right where I was. Working, scrolling, just living. Recorded from my own laptop camera. I couldn't breathe. I clicked another, and another. Some were from days ago. Some from that same day. And then I saw one from just minutes earlier. I didn't remember recording anything. I didn't even have any software that could do that. That's when I noticed something worse. In some of the videos, I wasn't alone. At first, I thought it was just shadows, lighting, but in one clip, clear as day, there was something behind me, standing near the doorway, watching, not moving, just there. I slammed the laptop shut. I didn't want to see any more. I didn't want to know. My phone buzzed again. Another message. You missed one. I didn't respond. I couldn't. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in the corner of my room with the lights on, watching the door, waiting for something to happen. Nothing did. Not that night. The next morning, I took my laptop to a repair shop. I didn't tell them everything, just said I thought it had a virus. They checked it, ran scans, looked through the system, and then they told me something that didn't make sense. There was no malware, no remote access software, nothing that could explain what I saw. No saved videos either. The folder I saw the night before was gone, like it never existed. I went back home, packed a bag, and left. I didn't stay there another night. I changed my number, got a new laptop, even moved apartments, but every now and then, late at night, I still think about that message. You missed one, because I never checked all the files, and I don't know what might have been in the ones I didn't open. Story 3. It only moves when you look away. I didn't believe in anything paranormal. Not ghosts, not shadow people, nothing. Even after everything that happened, I still tried to explain it. But there's one thing I could never explain. And it started with something small, something so easy to ignore, a chair. It was just a regular chair in my room, nothing special about it. I kept it near the corner, next to my desk, and for months, it stayed exactly where it was. Until one night, it didn't. I came home late, around 2 a.m. The room was dark, except for a little light coming from the street outside. I didn't turn the lights on. I just walked in, dropped my bag, and sat on my bed. That's when I noticed it, the chair. It was slightly out of place, not by much, just a few inches. At least, that's what it looked like. I stared at it for a few seconds, trying to remember if I had moved it earlier. Maybe I did, maybe I just forgot. It wasn't a big deal, so I ignored it. I laid down, picked up my phone, and started scrolling. A few minutes passed, then something made me look up again. I don't know what, maybe instinct, maybe something else, but when I looked at the chair again, it was closer, not dramatically, not suddenly, just closer than before, enough that I knew. I didn't move it. I sat up, now fully awake, staring directly at it, waiting. Nothing happened. It just sat there, perfectly still. I got up slowly and walked toward it, half expecting to find something behind it or under it, but there was nothing. Just a chair, exactly where I was now seeing it. I told myself I was imagining things, that I was tired, that my brain was playing tricks on me. So I pushed the chair back to the corner, exactly where it used to be. Then I went to sleep, or at least, I tried to. Because sometime during the night, I woke up. I didn't know why, but I felt it immediately, that feeling. Like something was wrong. The room was dark, silent. And then I saw it, the chair, right next to my bed. Close enough that I could touch it. I froze. My mind went completely blank. I didn't hear it move. I didn't feel anything, but it was there, right next to me. I didn't move for what felt like hours, just staring at it, waiting for it to do something. It didn't, eventually. I forced myself to get up, grabbed the chair, and shoved it back into the corner again. This time harder, like that would make a difference. I turned on the lights, checked everything. Nothing else was out of place, just the chair. That was the last normal night I had, because after that, it didn't stop. Every night, the chair moved, but never when I was looking at it. Only when I wasn't, I tested it. I stayed up one night, watching it 4 hours. It didn't move, not even an inch, but the second I looked away, even for a moment, it changed position. At first, just small distances, then bigger, closer, always closer, until one night, I decided to do something different. I set up my phone, pointed directly at the chair, and hit record. I stayed in bed, watching both the chair and the phone screen. Nothing happened. Minutes passed, then an hour. Still nothing. Eventually, I got tired. Really tired. My eyes started to close. And at some point, I must have fallen asleep. Because when I woke up, it was morning, and the chair was right next to my bed again, closer than ever, almost touching it. My phone was still recording, so I checked the footage. My hands were shaking as I played it back. At first, everything looked normal. The chair in the corner, me lying in bed, nothing moving, and then, at some point during the night, the video glitched, just for a second. The screen distorted, like something interrupted it, and when it came back, the chair was closer, not moving, just suddenly closer, no transition, no movement, just different. And then it happened again. Another glitch, another jump, each time bringing the chair closer, frame by frame, until finally, it was right next to my bed. And then the video stopped. Not ended, stopped, like it was cut. I checked the timestamp. There were hours missing. That's when I noticed something else. In the last frame of the video, right before it cut off, there was something behind the chair. At first, I didn't see it. It blended into the darkness, but when I zoomed in, I saw it, a shape, standing there. Tall, still, watching. I never slept in that room again. I moved the next day. Left everything behind, except my phone. I kept the video. I don't know why. Maybe to prove to myself it really happened. Or maybe because part of me needed to know. But I never watched it again, until recently. A few nights ago, I opened it. Just for a second, just to check, and I wish I hadn't. Because the video was different. Longer. There were new frames at the end. Frames I know weren't there before, and in those frames, the chair wasn't next to the bed anymore. It was gone, completely gone, and the camera had moved, slightly. Like something had picked it up and pointed it somewhere else. Directly at the bed, where I used to sleep. And standing there, in the dark, was something else, not the chair, not a shadow. Something taller, something that didn't belong. Just watching, like it had been waiting for me to look back. If you made it this far, you probably felt it too, that feeling. Like something isn't right, so tell me. Which story got to you the most? Story 1, Story 2, or Story 3? And be honest, are you watching this alone right now? If you enjoy true scary stories like this, subscribe to Mr. Midnight. There's more coming. Just don't watch them in the dark.